It's raining in Los Angeles. Outside, it's colder than everyone who works in this city of angels feels on the inside. Perfect night for Return to Noir. Hi, everyone. My name's Philip. I'm the Noir Master here. And I'll be dishing out all that smooth, smoky, morally ambiguous fun, surrounded by my wonderful players. Say, evening dollface players.
I'm not
Evening
saying it.
dollface.
You're not saying evening dollface?
Actually, of all the people here, I probably should be the one to say that, huh?
Why? Why?
Are you the one?
Because he has 3 doll
I
faces.
have 3 doll faces.
That'd be like, oh man, the one with the doll face is calling other people doll face. Then again,
No, none of you can say that. That's all.
That's our word. So welcome back to Gray in the Dark.
I didn't realize that was a slur against the plastic people.
Only my friends call me dollface. So
I'm sorry.
So yeah, so
Only
welcome.
other
sensitivity
honored
training.
Americans can call you dollface.
We in the mob don't do any sensitivity training,
It's
you know.
the D word. The D word. You don't use the D word unless you're American.
It has not been a while since we've played together. I've seen many of you even just within a week or so when we did various Halloween week shenanigans, and for the Week of Blood, and of course Anthony, you did not join us for the 13-part 24-hour game called Murder by Murder.
That sounds about right.
But that was it was a fun one. We missed having you, but we are glad you are back for the noir of it all. We are in black and white, which my apologies still. 19 sessions after now, going into 20 sessions plus numerous time off. As I was speaking to KJ earlier today, and I think we both remembered that she hates me. Kind of in that it was kind of like it was like news to both of us, sort of a thing of like, oh right, I despise what Philip has crafted here on this thing that's supposed to be my joy, because
It affected so much of me getting ready this morning, just like in phases, because I kept remembering, oh right, it's black and white.
What cute colors will I wear? Doesn't matter, because as we got the title for this game from, all cats look gray in the dark.
You know what I'm gonna love? I'm gonna love if we potentially bring back color and then everything's color graded all wrong because we never color
Just like
graded.
greens are blues.
I'll take it. No, I do remember, like,
A win is a win.
one of the things we learned last time was that we may be able to bring color back, but it would be like super muted, and I'm so okay with that. Even like, I'll take it. I will take it.
The copium is real.
Yeah.
Scrakk won't settle for half measures.
It's the hope.
Right, but that's your problem. If I can just get it to like that much, I'm good. I'm set, and you can figure out the rest.
Well, I think given the fact that my brain is still on the time of a century before, I don't mean that emotionally. I mean literally. This time change came in like a wrecking ball. Miley Cyrus, Silent Myers. And I think we're all just kind of, apparently there's something going on today. So we're I think we kind of made the decision. Also, because it has been, it's been nearly 4 months since we played this game.
God, it has been.
If not 4 months, because there were 13 weeks of the other game, and then, oh no, it's been more than 4 months, because there was a couple weeks off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't it more?
Yeah, and I'm sure we didn't play everything, so it's been 4 to 5 months since we last kind of played this game. I have briefed myself on the goings on of this adventure, because I run the game, but I understand that our players may not, understandably, they have notes, they have ledgers and things, and I do have a feeling, to quote one of the great bards of our Blood from a Stone game, if we kind of get into it, I'm sure you'll all be saying, it's all coming back to me now. But as of this point, I do think we're probably this will be a lighter session, and will probably involve a hefty amount of sort of kind of like an overarching sort of remembrance of what happened. So, I think you all remember the way that this game began at its earliest outset, when it was kind of a seemingly random group of people, 3 of whom had certain connections to sort of the war effort that had gone on, and were actually in one way or another connected to Project Skip Bleach that drained this mid-century fantasy world of all its color. But also was the bar owner, Dom. So that was those connected individuals were Scrakk, Leo, and Sha'Nehl. The bar owner, Dom, he was there, and then Duchess Contessa, who comes in there one day a week, although was a little confused about which day of the week it was, where she drinks her just gin, right? Just a gin martini is her beverage of choice. Am I remembering that correct?
I legitimately don't remember.
Okay.
Does Duchess remember?
Probably not.
I really think it was a gin martini. So this group.
Whatever she orders, I give her. So.
Yeah, you and
Is gin what's in a martini? Because I know she ordered martinis a lot.
Gin is in. If you're snooty, it's only gin. Vodka martini is for peasants. And back in that day, I think a gin martini was the default. As time went on, and shall we say, less pretentious people were no longer in charge, the vodka martini sort of became the more common one. But and honestly, it was I personally believe it was popularized by James Bond, because he would say vodka martini. Because if you say martini, they're going to give you gin back in those days. Thank you for joining us here on Cocktail Hour. Tonight we're going to dive into the history of the sidecar, which is a delightful beverage. Take a little. Has anyone here ever had a sidecar?
I don't think so, but it sounds interesting.
I know the name.
Back when I was a tippler, you guys.
A what?
Is that does it have like a whiskey in it? And
I don't. I think
What
it is.
is it?
I think it is
Sidecar.
brandy and triple sec,
Oh.
if I remember.
Oh, okay.
correctly. A tippler. Did I say the wrong thing? I'm gonna check because I'm paranoid. Yeah, somebody who habitually drinks alcohol, like I don't now.
When I typed Tippler into Google, I found a real estate agency, so I have no idea.
I typed it in, and the first thing I got was the definition. Is that true? Like, that's so interesting that our Googles are like.
Yeah, Google does that.
I have a dictionary app here. Habitual drinker of alcohol.
Yeah, but
Late Middle English denoting a retailer
Okay,
of
I only had
alcoholic
one
liquor.
P. If I put the second P in, it gives me the definition.
tippler. Well, anyway,
That too.
so.
Oh, there is a second meaning: a revolving frame or cage in which a truck or freight car is inverted to discharge its load.
Oh, you know what? Actually, one of you. I'm sort of skipping ahead in our recap, but actually, one of you in this group does have the bottles like bar in a backpack, right?
I believe that's me since I'm the bartender.
You have the bar in the bottle. What I don't believe I actually gave you
bar in a
stats for
backpack.
that. Did I?
No.
That's
Well,
different from brewer's tools, right?
We have that now.
it's different than that, but I'm going
You
to
do?
send you. That is from our Noir book. So actually, I will send. I'm going to send as a follow-up email to the one I sent you guys of the stuff. What comes in that? But I went with the classic cocktail. So the cocktails you can make in that thing, you can make a brick flip, a brick-born beverage. You can make a daiquiri de gremlin.
Wait a minute.
Ooh.
What if I come back from the fairylands with Fey drinks now? The bar will pop off!
I mean, it's possible. But
It
so
would
you
Or
have
go downhill due to more racism.
you have a
God.
brick flip, daiquiri de gremlin, mannequin martini, a smoky sidecar, or a whisker highball, which is a play on whiskey highball, but whiskers because rat folk.
What is special about them? How are they? Like a mannequin martini. What is the?
A mannequin martini. is
no flavor whatsoever.
I will tell you exactly what it is. A mannequin martini. You can make one of these cocktails each day. So you can mix it replenishes for this, and then you can make as many bottles old fashions as you want. Those are just really good old fashions. But the mannequin martini is gin as cold as a glacier, a hint of vermouth, a wax olive. Compose this cocktail, which upon consuming, a creature gains the ability to cast the disguise self spell once within 1 hour's time.
Nice.
If the gin is room temperature.
The what comes from this, it wouldn't work, but the bar gives you gin as cold as a glacier. That's
Oh, okay.
That's what is presented by if you mix the thing and bring that drink out, that is what you get. That's a mannequin martini. The whisker highball, because whiskey highball's a real drink. I'm just gonna keep repeating that because I think I'm beyond proud of myself with that one. The whisker highball. It's a whiskey highball garnished with berries. Functions like an elixir of health on account of how rat folk are so good at avoiding disease. There is a brick flip. It's a cocktail with egg yolk, sugar, and mortarized rum. Grants anyone who consumes it 10 temporary hit points. Daiquiri de Gremlin is a refreshing lime and rum cocktail. Typically served with a metal bolt as a stir stick. It grants anyone who drinks it advantage on intelligence saving throws or investigation checks for an hour.
Oh.
And the smoky sidecar is for 1 hour after drinking this cocktail of cognac, orange liqueur, and smoked lemon garnish. You have the ability to cast the fog cloud spell once. That should be within 1 hour's time, shouldn't it? Okay.
Sounds cool.
Within 1 hour's time. So anyway, the point is...
ASI? I get ASI at level 4, right?
You get ASI, but I did send out... are you trying to see which one you...
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I use the ASI. I probably did, because my charisma's at 18.
Yes, then you did. And there are some fun feats there. I did a thing for that they have really been doing recently in all of the official D&D books, which is they're making feats that give you like a little taste of classes. So it's kind of a way to not multi-class, but to get a little bit of another class's ability.
What is
See.
that?
So they're stealing archetypes from Pathfinder.
Hey, if it works.
If it works.
Maybe they are. I feel like they were starting those. I mean, from the outset, you had Magic Initiate. You know, it's a thing. But yeah, so basically, I threw in some stuff where you can get a hint of Explorer, a touch of Believer, and this, that, whatever, as some of those feats. So here I will. But this is the Bottles Bar in a Bottle from the new book. So that is also an email for whoever has it.
Yeah.
You do have that, but we're getting ahead of ourselves in terms of the narrative, because back on that first night, and also this whole game took like 10 days or something, right? It started on a Sunday night, and I bet it will tell us what day of the week you guys went in. Come to think of it. Oh my god, Sunday morning. So you guys you walked through the door a week after this started.
That's about the pacing of a standard.
That really is, yeah. 19 sessions for a week. I guess that's not insane. So, the point is, yes, everyone gathered at Dom's bar, in sort of Little Trachaloy, in the city of San Germino. An attack occurred, and this united our group sort of into believing that this attack at the alley, they all wanted payback, but they soon began to realize that they weren't sure who the exact targets were. Scrakk, Leo, and Sha'Nehl seemed like likely targets. Is your name Lucky now? Is Dom going by Lucky from now on?
Oh, why isn't his name Lucky? Oh, that was my previous one when I was.
Right. It's like, wait, what?
Dominic.
So as Dominic,
There we go.
Dominic, Scrakk, Leo, and Sha'Nehl all had reason to think they might have been the targets. Duchess Contessa and a cool guy named Luminus. They were just kind of in there. Luminus really wanted a nice nice shake. Nice cookies and cream shake is what he was looking for and couldn't find it. Basically, as this occurred, you guys set to try to investigate why this happened. We uncovered a lot of information. I feel like I'm just going to kind of do a highlights reel of some of the types of stuff you were looking into. Tascia Brunotti is somebody you tracked down on account of... she was the person who seemingly had invited Scrakk, Leo, and Sha'Nehl. She indicated that this was all the doing of someone called Irene the Iron. So you were basically looking for this former studio boss who now seems to maybe be a crime lord who works for someone you guys think is called Inscription. There's another crime player called Il Grazioso, meaning like the charmer, the charming one. He is apparently a part of, you're not sure if he's explicitly in the Mozzo family that Dominic's a part of, but he's definitely a part of like the Orcish mob, or he's connected to it. And Dominic, you've asked a few questions about him and kind of not been given answers.
Okay.
You also investigated a gentleman named Aldir O'Leary. He was he's like an elf. He is not a part of the crime family, of the O'Leary family, but he's connected to them. He was at a place called the Sweet Feather Parlor. You also met his kind of bodyguard. Her name is Molly Velvet, and she doesn't speak. She also seemingly can draw a velvet blade and like displace it, so like you have a blade to your neck from like across a room, which she did to you at some point, I think, Dominic, just to show off.
Yeah, she did on our first meeting.
But Aldir O'Leary, he said Tascia had sent you. So basically, I'm just saying a lot of names, and there's been a lot of uncertainty about who it was who did what or why, who sent people. You also found in Tascia's apartment a dead toon named Dottie. And you, you remember that?
Ooh, no.
There's
Maybe you should go in some detail, highlight
Plus.
some tunes we met. Oh.
There was Dottie, and you guys, basically, she died. You're not really sure how. Seems like she was like murdered pretty horrifically in Tascia's room. When you finally got to Tascia, you found Tascia. Oh yeah, then you.
You fought with the equivalent of a hippie commune.
Yeah, you went out to Million Oaks, which is one of my favorite places because it's not improbable that it would be called Million Oaks.
There are a lot of trees in the world.
There actually are a lot of trees, so theoretically a thing. So that was the Order of the Seventh.
And there
Raid.
used to be.
As you kind of went out there, you wound up kind of connecting with it. You did have to fight a bunch of these monks from the Order of the Seventh Raid, including I should have written up like a real clean summary sheet here. Instead, I'm
Cotton?
Really jumping around. What was the name of that woman who Karma, and Duchess Contessa wanted to turn her into glue because she was a centaur.
I was so close too.
Basically, Tascia, the person who you later realized was Inscription, she mentioned that Inscription was talking about Il Grazioso once when she saw him speaking to Irene the Iron. But she did give you guys a pretty pivotal connection, which was she was introducing Dottie to various important clients for Irene the Iron, and one of the clients she introduced Dottie to, because she was also a part of Project Skipleech, was one General Elgrave, a high elf, actually he might have been a wood elf. Point is, he was like a very important general during the war.
And also a freak.
Was in charge. Well, he was an interesting cat.
Yes.
So,
we don't kink shame here.
Yeah,
That guy was a fucking terrible person, and we should kill him.
but it's called he's dead now.
He's dead.
He was gonna
I thought
fuck golf clubs.
They took him to like revive him.
I mean, I guess they
They-
theoretically could do.
They could try.
I don't.
But,
I don't do resurrections in my games. He's dead.
We gotta double tap anyways. We'll find him. I'll finish it. It's fine.
But yeah. So basically, you know. So there was the Tasha thread. There was the Alduro Lyre thread. That comes back into it because that Molly Velvet was at many sessions later was at a Shadow Elf bookstore for like a political speech being given by this like weird Shadow Elf dude. There's really a lot of stuff has happened in this game.
oh man.
That's some
What's
interesting
the,
books.
what's the usual indication someone's died?
Oh,
Their
you
shoes
forgot
fly
the
off or
money.
something?
Have you said anything about the money yet?
I know the money. We're just not.
We're getting there. We'll get there when we get there.
We haven't even started talking about Kailan the Dark at all.
Oh yeah.
But,
the whole thing.
So basically there was the Tasha thing, there was this Elgrave thing. You wanted to do that because there was also that Scrakk left at some point and came back with a bunch of tales. That's where you guys met Bruce Fowler, Brush Salesman.
Hey, I
Oh,
only
God, I
have
love him.
one tail.
Right, you brought back several military intelligence people who were following you.
Well, those.
We can put it into terms you understand. But yeah, Tasha kind of was hiding out, and
Yeah, then I hung
that's
out
mainly
with,
the info you sort of got from her when you went out to the
I hung out with my what is it? Rodel? With my not my capo.
I forgot about that.
Your
part.
capo? You were with your capo.
Rodol, I
No.
believe, is your capo.
Not the capo. I mean, whoever was over me. I don't
He's your
remember.
capo. He's not the Dawn.
Oh, Don is the name.
Yeah.
My capo, Rodel. Hung out, and I didn't know I was being tailed. Why would I be tailed? I didn't do anything that day
I
to
didn't
deserve
do
being
anything
tailed.
today. So yeah, you did. A tale came to him. A government agent was murdered. You had to dispose of the body because one of his really aggressive, like lieutenant guys, one of his soldiers, Eddie, I think was the guy's name, murdered the guy, and then the guy was alive, and then Eddie killed him. It was a real Coen brothers.
I specifically chose to keep that guy alive too because if he lives, hey, lucky you live. And then background character goes off screen.
Live. We can do something with him. We can bribe him. We can do whatever. Dead, we've got to. So yes, that was the whole thing. And then yes, Sha'Nehl, because of the fears for sort of Leo and Sha'Nehl especially, and I think Luminus stayed with Duchess once. Oh yeah, we met Freddy Fox. That place is a totally normal place that I'm sure Sophia Distracted is a huge fan of. But so Sha'Nehl and Leo, they were staying in a safe house that used to belong to one Kailan the Dark, an elf who had a connection to Halia Zennington, and Sha'Nehl sort of has some beef with her. I think you revealed some of that to the group. So point being, you found a ton of money, but you have to launder it because it's pre-war. I think you also found the lipstick of the Fatale, which led to probably the most lethal moment in the game where I really thought someone was about to die. Because if somebody wears that, everyone else like rushes like a mad person to try to protect them.
That was a fun session. I even tried jumping out the window because I technically was under the influence and hurt the person I was supposed to protect.
Mm-hmm.
What have I done?
Yeah, that was a while.
Now we know the existence of the Fatale in this world.
You do know about that, but I think that you guys never quite figured out who or what a Fatale might be. I think that you you sort of you got some perspective on it, but you never quite.
Yeah, we took the disappearing money, sent it off to the washers.
Willie the Washer, you looked at, and Ambrosia was one of your lieutenants, and Ambrosia very famously rolled a 20 to scope out Willie the Washer and a 1 to scope out Dryer Dreyfus, and thus came back and said, they're both great. Which was a very fun moment.
Have we mentioned Jerry yet?
We did mention Jerry.
Jerry's
I wasn't
alive.
going to go into deep reference to it, but basically, so there is this ongoing mystery of who killed Dottie. There is the and you did and then Duchess did go do some acting in a Susie Sunshine, Little Susie Sunshine, was that?
Oh my god, that
I
was
got
such
paid
a
in
fun
exposure
session.
bucks.
Oh my god! And then you guys, Susie Sunshine, and after that, you guys went to and
Is
she
that when
told
Sha'Nehl
you
and I went on our little excursion?
after
Yeah.
Madame Bovinery, and then
Yeah.
she told you that that Ira the Iron hangs out in a place called Imbroglio in Cook Park. You guys
Yeah.
then
I believe we
went
were
to a donut shop called Donut Resuscitate. Sorry, I had to get to that. That was a fun time. Yeah, go ahead, Dom.
Yeah, I believe when we went over to the washers, right, we got the link to set up a meeting with Irene the Iron with because of the laundered money that they were laundering in the washing machines, literally.
Oh, that's
probably.
right. You did.
Then we decided to visit the general, and well, there's a conspiracy, and now we're implicated. Well,
Yeah, that's right. I think the general actually summoned you, so it was sort of it was a little more less of a we decided to and more of a like we'd better go, because like the general got involved and had basically you guys called.
Oh, that's right.
Scrakk somehow got in touch with the general and asked him to call off all the people following you, and the general's like, sure, come see me tonight at the base. But one other little thread I'll sort of just mention before we get to that stuff, because that is kind of getting to the stuff, is in your research when you went to this shadow elf bookstore called Elingir, that was where Beth and Effa was speaking, and you saw Molly Velvet, who is a shadow elf. And you sort of learned about, and I think Scrakk had already done some research into this, but you basically kind of like got more intel into the idea that San Termino here in the material plane has two reflections, as a lot of places do, but unlike most reflections that are in the shadow world or the fairylands, these reflections were purposefully constructed, like with a point of view. These were not naturally occurring versions of this city. These were built on purpose by the denizens of the fairylands and the creatures who inhabit the shadow world. In the shadow world, it is called Iduith, and it is a very sort of dark shadow world city, kind of even more noir than noir. It's kind of like an artist's interpretation of like the true darkness, whereas a city in the fairylands is called Finis, or Fini, if you, depending on how fancy you want to be about pronouncing it. The original pronunciation would be Fini, but people do say Finis, and it's fine. Finis. Gee, what do these all mean? You sort of learned these things, and I think that Scrakk was having like a feeling that perhaps some clues to what happened here with why Project Skip Bleach went bad might be found. I think Scrakk was originally saying maybe we should go to the Shadow World, but even going to the Fairylands could make sense. And there were there are like trolleys that can sort of take you between these planes, kind of in the city proper. Sha'Nehl bought a book about a dead kingdom in the Shadow World called Anobyth. She spent way more simoleons on that than Dominic felt was reasonable.
And I bought a car, a brand new.
Then you did. You
car.
bought, what was that? Primo Auto 6C.
Yeah, Primo.
I guess
Did we
I'll
escape with the car. I don't remember.
You did escape with the car, but
okay.
We'll get now. Scrakk revealed a few things. One, that he had broken into the place, and Dominic about flipped his lid when he was like, "Yeah, of course you have tails, since you literally broke into the headquarters of the Justorian military." But he did mention that the military figure who interrogated him was one Vice Admiral Baspothet, who is a water demon, and how that is kind of odd that a demon, because like many different entities were allied in the war against the other side, who were sort of more kind of like great old one types who were sort of trying to like destroy reality. So you got some pretty evil people on your side, but it is strange that there's still a water demon, like a demon of the depths, demon of the deep blue sea, is still just chilling out at Justorian military headquarters. That's weird. In the stronghold, maybe concerning if you're concerned about such things. Yes, Willie the Washer. He gave you the card for Peterson Accounting, which is where you could. That's who does that's his main contact to Irene. So you guys could theoretically get in touch with that. You also did get when you went shopping for your Primo Auto 6C, you also bought a bunch of cartoon golf clubs who scream.
As a gift, tied over what is it, General?
Yeah, and you guys thought maybe he'd like it, but then Duchess was like he might like these too much, so that could be rough. So you spent 100 simoleons on those.
Lucky for those golf clubs, he was iced. So yeah.
So
now they're with us in the Fairylands, right?
He what's that?
Those golf clubs are now with us in the Fairylands.
I believe so, but I'm reading more closely now, so I think I can't quite remember. You definitely brought them into the house with him. I think you guys carried them through.
Yeah, we pulled them out of the
house.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought we threw them off a cliff to distract the soldiers.
Oh,
we may have.
Really familiar.
I mean, I know that idea was pitched. I don't know that we went through with it.
I'm pretty sure I pitched that idea, but I don't think we went through with it.
I'm reading this. I'm reading the recap for this session here, so I'll maybe find out in a moment. The point being, yes. So I'm trying to kind of catch us up to the thing. So basically, one other Shadow Elf thing. I'm just saying it out loud so that if it comes up, because I'm really not trying to say these are important points. Maybe I just shouldn't say it. I'll say it. It's fine. In terms of Shadow Elves, there was one other Shadow Elf whose name...
Blank?
What's that?
Blank?
Blank was a... yes, Blank was is a name that has been shared by 2 points. Actually, we'll talk about Blank for a second. Who is Blank, Sha'Nehl?
He is the king who created the haunted castle that is in
it's Annabite, yes.
In Annabite?
Yes.
And Annabite is on the material plane, it's Kilcarney, and the fate plane is Letitia. And all these places kind of overlay
There's
each
weird
other.
kind of connections to those. Yes. Do you happen to remember, this is a deeper cut, do you happen to remember what was interesting about the name Plunk?
He is related to the murdered senator.
Yes, there was a congressman who died in a weird traffic accident. Seemed shady, and you guys were like, "Wait, is he connected to that king? Is it just a common name?" But yes, there was some kind of connection there. The other Shadow Elf that is not actually that's a very good Shadow Elf name to think of. Excellent, but there's another Shadow Elf name, Scrakk. You if you have notes, you might remember it. Otherwise, I will say it, and maybe you'll know it if I say it. But does the name Elora Lockley ring a bell to anybody?
It does. I can't remember.
Absolutely fucking not.
Great.
No, 0%.
Cool.
Oh.
Scrakk,
Was it the instigator who made the speech at
that was Bethan Afa, who was the sort of poet. Elora Lockley.
Scrakk. Is that his contact?
Was someone Scrakk was trying to talk to. She was meant to be the captain of the JS Nightingale. That's the ship that carried Halia. But
she was strange at the last minute.
And you tried to talk to her, and you were not given clearance to speak with her.
Yeah.
I feel like we're talking about a different game entirely.
There are a lot of threads in this ball of yarn.
It's
it's all one thread.
As we've seen from our murder mystery game we played, I'm capable of making some complicated nonsense, and you have my apologies. You have my sympathies. So we've talked about the Shadow Elves. We've talked about the Illyres. We've talked about and the Kilners. You guys did go and talk to
we did.
Silicate Kilner. They're connected to things. Because we didn't talk about the zip gun. Oh my god, guys.
God.
Oh my god,
So
yeah.
many people. Zipgun
Zippy.
used to work for Dominic, but you got the impression that maybe he was like somebody working for somebody else. The reason you even went to the Sweet Feather Parlor
It's a
after
double
Aldir
and
was
triple
kind of
agent
thinking-
zip gun.
Zip gun, kind of triple agent. The point is, it seems that he works for the Kilners. It seems he was being like punished. He was being like refired by the Kilners, which was a rough.
It's just a
rough
thing that
sounding
those
process.
Brickborn do. Yeah.
It's super fucked up, actually. It's like, it's really not cool.
Yeah,
Part of their culture, man.
Pun intended.
You asked, hey, you asked Silicate, about the charming one, about Il Grazioso. She kind of didn't say anything, but I think somebody was.
I think we got the memo to leave it be.
Luminus knew that she knew all about it.
Who's told us about inscription?
Ooh, yeah. Who
believe
actually
we-
did tell you about inscription? Tashia mentioned it to you the first of anyone, but
Mhm.
as far as where you kind of got the actual name, let's see.
She mentioned the Brickborn with the stuff on his face. I believe that's where we got. The
That's
first
where, yeah,
mention of
Tashia
that.
said that and said that the only thing she heard him ever saying was,
Was it established or something like that.
was the EST on his face. And he was talking about Il Grazioso, yeah.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, I don't remember where the first name. time was meant.
That was all back in like, that was basically chapter 12, so, I know who, you didn't get it from her. It was you used your gumshoe points. You used your gumshoe points to get the insight
there we
that
go.
the name would be inscription based on the thing.
I see.
So yeah, with that, so that was the zip gun stuff. So zip gun was basically, yes, being refired, being punished somehow, and it was kind of weird. Poor guy.
Nah,
Deserved it.
he can take it.
Consequences of his
He's
actions.
kind of a dick.
All right, so basically, yes, you have a plan to launder more money with Willie the Washer. He's given you the name of an accounting firm where you can maybe talk to them and get an interview with Irene, or you know where she hangs out. So this was all going on, but then in your efforts to sort of like in your efforts to like reach out to what's his face,
Graves. Elders.
Graves, you wound up having to go see Graves. So you went to Graves' place. You kind of told Graves that he, you kind of told Graves what your theories were, and he was not. He kind of did. He didn't tell you a bunch of. He didn't say, "Oh, that's interesting." He seemed shady in response,
But not for very long.
And he wanted to know where Tashia is, and he wanted you all to stop poking around. Duchess took a bubble bath through Toon Shenanigans. That agitated him. He snapped at Scrakk. You guys told him a good bit of info, but then Luminus sort of noticed something was about to happen, at which point somebody, a shadowy figure who, Luminus having noticed it, he cast light on his revolver, he saw a flash of like a figure, but he did also hear somebody whisper die, so somebody basically power word killed the general. You guys rushed through the walls after that person. There were so many...
Didn't find him.
Oh, it's
Got the
action
golf
packed.
clubs, ran through the thing. I don't see anything about you. I'm gonna just Google the golf. I'm gonna search my golf clubs. Hold on.
If we didn't toss it off, I still got them.
I
And these are
think
now
we
new
still
characters.
have them. I think we do.
I think you
I
probably
think
do.
we tossed them because I think people didn't want to deal with streaming
I
golf.
don't think
clubs
we
the rest
bought
of the
them.
trip.
Whether or not we still have them, I think they'd probably still be in the car. I don't think we brought them through the.
That may be true. If you guys want to have brought them with you
Unless-
into the thing, we can say that. But
Probably shouldn't have
Dominic
something streaming in the
specifically.
car, because then someone's gonna check out our car.
point being though, yes, the golf clubs were not explicitly thrown out. So you guys did manage to do a very daring escape in the car. You got out thanks to Dom, like driving through bullets, kind of in bullet time.
And Luminus got shot.
I believe that is true, yes. You guys raced through the night, made a full getaway from the like cops, got away all the stuff, but you guys, Duchess actually said we shouldn't go back to the city because this is a disaster for us, since we're all presumably the people who just murdered the general.
And they know where
ran,
we all operate.
and they know who you are. They've been following you. So she said, we need to go find out more. We should go to Million Oaks, since we're like out of the city already. So you guys took back roads to Million Oaks to kind of see what you could learn from Tasha. You arrived in Million Oaks, drove up to the mission, where you found a bunch of nude bodies wearing animal heads with a blazing bonfire, because hippies are weird. You asked for sanctuary. She said, do you reject Shadow in all its forms? You said, I'll reject whatever you want. That was good enough for karma. She brought you all into the mission. And in fact, things had moved past the dancing, so you guys just kind of went inside. There were many more renovations, including a lot of holes dug in the floor, which you did notice before, because stuff was being set up that early, because I'm a lunatic. And as such, you eventually got to the area where you remember that Tasha had been. She's gone. The bed was made room tidy. You think she hadn't been there for a few days. So you all took a rest. Luminus made an adequate apartment. Dom slept surrounded by mannequins standing over him like terror monsters. Sunday morning, there was a religious service, so they expected you to be there for the sanctuary. So Duchess and Dom sort of went, and a lot of you guys decided to go anyway. They did the rite of Goodberry, but the berries all sort of taste gray and indeterminate. They don't have their specific fruit flavors, because no color.
Important question.
Yes.
Can trees photosynthesize without green?
We've gone into that, in fact.
Have we?
The answer is imperfectly. Trees are not doing great. Certain kinds of crops were growing better than others. I think there's like, if memory serves, God, is it like, I think like
It's not a matter of the
Do
like
berries
of
even
being green that
are they a thing
does
anymore?
photosynthesis.
Okay. Trees are not doing great. Mushrooms and fungus do well, very well. So there's a lot more mushrooms around. Cabbage, spinach, lettuce all taste a little off, but they all grow fine. Carrots, radishes, beets, potatoes are okay, not as good as they used to. You basically can't get tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, peas, beans, corn, or squash. Rice and wheat are whatever. So, I literally have a what's growing page.
Because you're a
Shouldn't
lunatic,
affect
that's
it.
why.
Photons are photons, whether they're
Yes, but green absorbs the largest wavelength of color.
well.
It's also
really.
magic.
It's all magical, so it doesn't really matter if once we go into the realism of it. So,
I hate
but
that
so-
Luke nerdy enough that question came up more than once.
yeah.
In answer to your question though, trees are like, you're not seeing too many robust trees, and those that are robust, you suspect some druids have been working overtime. Karma then came and acted to you guys. The fact that you were like investigating shadow elves was intriguing to her, because she does not like shadow elves. They're the order of the seventh ray, so they're very they're very like pro light, down with the dark.
Oh,
Light.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Want to get down with the darkness.
Actually, they're anti-darkness. They're not pro-light.
Well, it's a right.
man.
They believe everyone has the right
I'm
to
not.
light.
I'm not brave enough for politics here.
Let's move past that for now.
Anywho, what election night? So, the point being,
no.
she basically, because you were asking for sanctuary, you came to church and you were explaining that you suspect the Shadow Elves of shenanigans. She was pretty willing to kind of deal with you, and she did, in fact. You guys asked where Tashia went, and she said, oh, she went to the Fairylands. There's a crossing below the mission. That's actually what we were digging for on her behalf, was to kind of clear out an old crossing. And you guys, understandably, with a murder sort of on your, kind of a murder on your heads, the military on your back, and you feeling that
we hid the primo in a barn or something like that, right?
Did you actually considered trying to lower it into the barn? Sha'Nehl said, "Will there even be gas in the Fairylands to put into it?" So you guys instead parked it in the mission's garage. Karma let you know that they went to the ttrpg ranch the night before. That Tashia went to the ttrpg ranch right after you guys were here the last time. So that was a little dangling thread, and y'all said, "Nope, not engaging, not important." Mantra. So you tried to figure out how you could, like, you know, get maybe pick up your money from Willie the Watcher, maybe recover the money that was hidden at the bar, because you have all of the, like, untranslated money at the bar. Duchess sent a coded message to Freddy, just letting him know he'd be gone longer. But you and Freddy, I think, were in a bit of a fight at this point, right? Because he found out that you had been lying about what you were doing. Is that correct?
I confessed. He didn't, like, find the trails.
Hold
and
on.
I had to,
let me rephrase. I'm not saying did Duchess do something wrong. I'm saying, is Freddy overreacting like a twerp right now and mad at her? I believe that is the case.
His feelings are valid. She would never say he's overreacting.
Oh, okay.
But, yes, he has not been home in several days.
So yes, so you sent him a message letting him know. You also decided not to try to contact the bar because you're just like, MI's gonna raid our bar. Like, you're worried they're taking all that money. I believe you physically have everything else with you.
More or less. Yeah.
And at this point, I will in fact let you guys make the decision. If you want to take the golf clubs into the Fairylands, you may. Duchess, you're giving a thumbs up in the corner. You're saying yes, Duchess. You just thumbs upped.
Like, look, I'm not gonna, like, put up a fight. If you want to take the golf clubs in, we can take the golf clubs in.
I don't.
I just think that is more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah.
That is true.
There are a lot of comedic potential and, just wildcard, but I don't know. Those golf clubs are kind of obnoxious.
Vanda wants to do a wildcard thing? That's
wow. Who would have expected
There's
that?
always up for a
Could not.
wildcard thing.
If the golf clubs screamed on demand and on demand only, I'd be all for it. But they scream when they want to scream, and that's the problem.
Can't you, like, put the golf cover on to shut them up?
Yeah, then it's just muffled screams.
No. They're like birds. They think it's night.
Can I bring just one, a 9-iron or something?
Up to the rest of the group.
You can't separate the brothers. You
They'll
have to
be
bring
fine.
90, Putty.
No, just one.
They scream as one.
Them,
As a
right?
unit.
Please tell me we didn't.
No, we did not name them. They're in the trunk of the
90,
car.
Putty, Old Woodsley, Carlos, all the normal
Okay.
ones.
Bob.
So basically, kind of with her realizing that you guys are doing something that might serve the light, you're going to the Fairylands, you're on an investigation into sort of dark deeds. Karma, your one-time enemy, whom Duchess still might want to turn into glue, I'm not sure.
If the opportunity arises, I will not pass it up.
She realizing you're kind of on a holy mission, that you're not holy people, she gave you supplies. And when sort of Scrakk and Leo made a plea to her, she gave you the magical item called O'Bottle's Bar in a Backpack. I think we call it now O'Bottle's Bar in a Bottle. I think we changed the name. But it used to be O'Bottle's Bar in a Backpack. Now it's
O'Bottle's bar in a bottle. Oh, so it is just a bar, not a backpack.
It's
a bottle.
It is a bottle that has a backpack. it's a bottle with two. I wish I can't easily. I would just preview.
3-gallon
image for
bottle
you guys
containing
right
a
now.
replenishing supply of spirits and mixtures of the finest quality.
Hold on, I'm just gonna.
Carry it on my back and. Okay.
We have artwork for it, and we're kind of like.
Sure.
I'm gonna find the artwork and hold it up. I don't care. As we can tell, tonight's a bit more casual of a game. You know, I mean, come on.
It's a full focus night.
It's a full.
What I am gonna use every now, my flask will never run out, so I'll just keep refilling my flask
Yeah,
with.
this is
plain
some of
alcoholic
our-
beverage.
This is some of our awesome art from a Dom. So that is
Oh,
Obottle's
fantastic.
bar in a bottle.
Oh, that's fantastic. With the little lever there, huh?
Yeah. So
Fun.
you gotta you can make one of each of the fancy cocktails each day, and then you can make as many Obottle's Old Fashions as you like. KJ, I will mention to you that the Obottle's Old Fashioned is this reference might mean nothing, but it's possible it will. The Obottle's Old Fashioned is a typical Old Fashioned that has been then has had blue food coloring added, and you put in 2 bright red maraschino
I'm gonna stop you right
cherries.
there. What the fuck does that matter in this world?
It doesn't matter in this world. It's for the Noir book, but it's because it's
Man, you are on your shit with that.
Wow.
in what's that she always remembers there's no color.
Yeah.
Why'd you have to bring it up, man?
I'm bringing it up because Obottle. Remember Obottle?
Right.
Yes.
So
yes.
so the drink is blue with 2 bright red cherries in it.
Why is 2 cherries a thing?
Is that a character?
Obottle was a character from a Star Wars game we played, and he was a chiss. So
Oh,
it's
the red eyes. Okay.
blue with 2 red eyes, and
I was thinking it was like the blue milk in Star Wars Land. Okay.
Yeah. It's 2 drops of blue food coloring, and garnished with bright red cherries for a cold, calculating feel. In any case, yeah. So you can just make them. They won't be the color, but they'll be old fashions.
Does it provide just plain water for those who are off the drink?
This does
Who are
not-
DDs?
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
you know what? If it did,
Virgin, whatever.
it would just be
Virgin
club
old
soda.
fashioned.
Ah. Okay. No water, just club soda. huh?
Club soda.
Okay.
So it'll hydrate you, but then
Fizzy water.
then you'll burp a lot. Okay, so
Good for cocktails, though. Club soda.
it's great for, yeah. We'll say that you can get club soda out of it. But I'm comfortable with that.
All right.
So, all that being said, I'm sure that we are missing a whole thread. Because here's the thing: in fairness to whatever, that we just talked through 19 sessions, but that's a lot of stuff. You guys like a lot of things. You went a lot of places. You chatted with a lot of people. You uncovered a lot of layers of an onion.
Like ogre. This story has
Like a noir ogre.
Like parfait.
What's that mean?
Oh man.
A parfait, I know what it means. Is this an anime thing?
No,
What?
That's a
the
Shrek
ogre?
reference.
it's a Shrek thing.
Everybody
You
likes
haven't seen
parfait.
Shrek.
You ever talk to someone and be like, hey,
Ogres have
Of all
many
the-
layers.
the-
you
like
like
an onion.
parfait? And they're like, no, I don't like no
That would've
parfait.
been
Shrek is a movie. Shrek is one of those movies where me being a little older than some of you means it's a movie that I saw one time in a movie theater, and
Don't
not
worry, I
many
need to
times
Shrek
on
at
fix.
all.
video.
You need to fix
I only
that,
know
so.
Shrek memes, and
Shrek
I only
is
know
fantastic.
Smash Mouth. Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me, you know?
Somebody once. Yeah.
Somebody
And the years
once-
stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't
And they don't
stop
stop
coming,
coming, and
and
they
they
don't
don't
stop coming.
That song, for some reason, just that like All Star and 1 Week by the Bare Naked Ladies relate
Oh,
to
man.
it the same way. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, and it's like, yeah, because I'm a hammer. I'm not supposed to be sharp.
The other end of the hammer is typically sharp.
A claw hammer, but sometimes it's a ball peen.
You're a ball peen.
Okay. Well,
We are fucking 12 years old.
all right, everybody.
Isn't Duchess
Well,
literally like what 4 years old or something? 5 years old,
Yeah.
something like that?
Well,
Well, she's not
technically,
drawn to look like that, but I guess.
technically, Sha'Nehl is only few years old too.
I'm 5. I'm 5 years old.
Of us, Scrack's a professor, so of course he's old.
Scrakk is 12.
What? That's right.
He's
Rat
the
ears.
oldest one.
Am I the oldest character in this story?
Genuinely might be. You genuinely
How
might
old
be.
is Luminus?
Actually,
Wait, no.
Luminus maybe.
21.
Luminus has to be pretty old as a Draconid.
Luminus is only like.
He's just
isn't he
2
only
weeks
like
old.
21 years old.
Actually, I think Luminus is pretty young. I take it back. I don't know if he's 21. How old? Wait, Dominic's 30?
I think like mid-20s, 25, 27-ish.
Luminus might be. You and Luminus were probably around the same age.
Wow.
I'm gonna reply to chat right now. Yes, you've seen Shrek multiple times. I understand that some people have. I'm just saying it's not a movie I saw a bunch. Like, if I'd been younger, I probably would have seen it automatically a bunch of times, but as such, it's not a movie. I'm not trying to tell you guys I don't like Shrek. I'm just saying that I saw Shrek and felt nothing.
Honestly, it seems like a movie you would enjoy.
I was like, okay, that's fine. Let's move on. There's a lot of movies where this happened. There's a lot of Disney movies, especially. I can get in real trouble with this. Like, to me, the Disney Renaissance ended with The Lion King, and now there's people who are explaining.
The Lion King.
You what?
I hate The Lion King.
That's fine. I'm not even
My
trying to say it's
least,
great.
my
Hamlet.
least favorite Disney movie.
It's just.
It's Furry Kimba the White Lion.
It's just, to me, it's like The Lion King was like, oh, this would be, and then after that, like, I think it's also just the age I was, like, I wasn't getting like Pocahontas and Hercules on video and watching them, but people love Hercules.
I love Hercules.
I agree that it ended for a while with Lion King, but I think it popped back up with Frozen.
See, I don't like Frozen.
I would like to humbly submit Emperor's New Groove as a
Emperor's
New Groove.
That's an
Okay.
anomaly.
Also,
That's an
Atlantis
anomaly.
and Treasure
Oh
Planet.
no, there's a lot of
hello?
yes. Atlantis is fun, Treasure Planet is fun, but none of these are movies that I've seen a trillion times the way I did like Little Mermaid.
The way I did with
Beauty and the
Hercules
Beast,
was my like
Aladdin.
watch a million times as a kid movie. Yeah.
All right.
Tangled.
Tangled, Frozen, great.
Tangled is great. I really like Tangled. I think Tangled's
You love
Actually-
Frozen, don't you? You love Frozen, don't you? It is a masterpiece that won every single Oscar,
I love
every
Frozen.
single category, swept everything, even Best Actor, Best Picture, Best Director, everything.
I like Frozen 2's
You know-
music more than Frozen 1.
You know all those TikTok videos of
Fair.
6-year-old girls annoying their parents with Frozen? That was me.
Nice.
I gotta say I'm the other one that I think is deeply underrated is like I feel like Princess and the Frog is so good.
Oh my god, it's so
That was
good.
good movie.
And it just like Noah, it just
Friends on the
That
Other
one makes
Side
me
is like
cry
one of
every
the
time I
best
watch it.
musical numbers they've put out. Like
The
period.
last 2D animation.
Which
Friends
one
on the
is?
Other Side.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
It's so
Love
good.
it.
Also,
Love it.
Big Hero 6. Fucking love that movie.
Once they it is that is also
We all have different opinions on which
Yeah.
movies are good.
Yeah, it's fine, but I guess to me it's just the like Shrek is not a movie I'm ever gonna quote because I've seen it once in 2001.
Don't worry.
When did it come out?
You've seen
Don't
you've
remind
seen
me.
Shrek
Don't
more
remind
times
me.
than I have.
Fair
I only know the
How did we
memes.
get here?
They were
How
saying
did
something
we?
about onions and I didn't.
Because
understand
we're
what
us.
Yeah.
I
Onions
don't
have
know
lips.
why we got here.
What
Onions
is
have
funny
lips.
though is that
How?
what is genuinely funny to me is that this Disney like everything falling apart happened when I've made it through 19 chapters, admittedly completely out of order, but there's like one more paragraph I was gonna go through, and that's what it turned into. Whatever.
That is us in a nutshell. We're about to get there to the point and then derail.
And like I will point out, I did not expect. I mean, I think once he got killed and you guys were on the run, like going to Million Oaks, I was like, that's a possibility, I guess. But the fact that you did that and then we're like, ooh, let's get out of here. It was all surprise to me. So it's great. It's great fun. So you guys went into the holes within the mission. You found ancient Fey-built ruins below. I'm now going more point by point because these are things that are like in immediate memory of your characters. One of the satyr monks led you to a tile mosaic of a forest on the wall. It started to move slightly as she began a sylvan chant of plain song. And you realized that you could walk into this mosaic, which is what Scrakk did. The others followed. He began to get smaller as he entered the mosaic, like almost forced perspective. And that was the forest crossing below the mission into the Fairylands, which is where we left things off. Sounds like it has been decided that we are not taking the clubs, which is, I want to keep everything kind of like non-judgmental, but that is objectively the correct choice. So you have entered the Fairylands. Now, my dear friends, it is 8:40 p.m. It took us about an hour to get through a recap of this game, which honestly, I get why.
I'm not convinced that about half of that actually happened. Like, I feel like some of that is a different game and the notes got mixed in.
God, here's the thing.
I'm surprised it only took an hour.
I really think the idea of like, I should just do that to games. I should just
gaslight people.
I should
Just
be
added.
be like, and then when you guys met Tinsley, remember Tinsley?
Yeah,
I
of course.
don't think
love
it would
Tinsley.
work like from week to week, but when we come back
Yeah,
after
no, but
a
like
long
this, I'm like, and
hiatus
then
like this,
and
it
you
would
guys
absolutely like
and you
you'd
guys
be able to
remember
do it, yeah.
everything with Tinsley at the newspaper stand, right?
Mhm.
Remember when Sha'Nehl played 3-card money with Tinsley at the newspaper stand? Cool.
that's all believable. I believe that happened.
Is that where all the money went?
So
yeah, I remember. Sha'Nehl tried to do poker faces, but she literally cannot do any other face except for one. So,
You should
Does
just
that
do
make
the
her
like.
better at poker or worse?
huh.
Philip, you should just do the Mr. Poopy Butthole thing from Rick and Morty, where you just like add a character in that never existed and like wait for us to call you out on it. Like,
yeah, except that then did the double blind of that he wasn't fake.
yeah.
Anyway, enough of all these preposterous shenanigans. Should we go on? Do we have the mental energy to sort of do this? To do a little bit? To do like
dip our toe into
Yeah, let's
a mini
I
section.
think-
This will
Do
just
an
be
intro.
this will just be
do an
like
intro.
everybody
Into
maybe
the
gets
Fairylands.
like a roll or two. So
Welcome to the
We
Fairyland.
need a word for
Hours
Dr.
late,
Thing.
yeah.
Let me get my least colorful dice
please do. That is appropriate for
that
this
I
game.
never put back in with the rest of the
I understand.
like colorful ones.
I
Which is
collected
still
all this
infinitely
collection
more
of dice.
colorful than
and only
anything
used the
in
gray
this
ones.
world.
So,
Maybe one of them.
Yeah,
as
I'm
the
not.
6 of you pass through this mosaic, before too long you find yourself stepping out of the sort of tile-like forest that you're walking through into a seemingly real forest, although the forest is, as you look more carefully, seemingly entirely made of stone, and it is extremely dark, aside from the sort of like dull flicker of a, kind of like a muted pale.
It's not colorful here too, right? Like
It is
it's
black
still
and white.
The entire multiverse was drained.
The entire multiverse was drained of color. Very sorry. So as
Multiverse of sadness.
But when you say that it's made of stone, that the forest is made of stone, are you saying that the forest got petrified when it lost its color, or
Duchess, give me a perception or investigation roll for that point.
That is a quite fascinating question, Duchess. In fact, I could refer back to various
literally nobody was talking to you? Like literally nobody was talking.
documents from my younger days of research about the Feywild and its
It-
ephemeral nature.
It is an interesting question, especially in the time frame since the petrification happened.
Fascinating. Tell us more, Professor Leo.
I would love
Oh,
to.
that's fine.
I would be honored. Yes.
What kind of roll was it?
Your choice of perception or investigation, or if nature was better for some reason, I'll let you do that also.
I don't
God, I
know,
miss
not
playing this
nature.
character.
Okay, it'll be perception.
Okay.
Oh, so that's 19 on the die plus 4, 23.
23, Duchess. For a moment, you're like, was this a...
I haven't rolled a d20 in so long, by the way. That
Wow,
felt weird
yeah.
to see a 19 on the die.
I can appreciate it. So as you sort of like walk through, perhaps even you don't even have to touch it. You can kind of like look kind of carefully. But Duchess, you realize that this stony sort of seemingly forest that you're walking through is actually not petrified trees, but carved trees. And as you look up, you see that there is a stone ceiling above you in the dim darkness. You have emerged basically from one artistic representation of a forest into another. Basically, you are in a subterranean chamber that has been carved to have to look. Imagine you're at like a rainforest cafe, but it's all stone.
So, is it like this is not a pipe, but just like everywhere and foresty?
I don't know what that reference is. I'm sorry.
That fucking painting.
The painting. Just this is not a pipe painting. It's
Yeah, it's like not a pipe. It's a painting of a pipe. It's a pipe.
that one.
It is more.
Marcel Duchamp.
Tell you what, Duchess.
I don't know the official
roll a.
French name.
I'll let you roll.
Or degree.
I think you're pretty
right,
good
of
at
course.
Close enough. Go ahead and make a calligraphy roll. Because it's like it's artistic.
That is 13. Yes, 13.
Oh no.
Not
Wrong game.
Wrong game as well.
We don't have the clock advancing.
And also, it's only a natural 13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, you are with a 13. I think you are confident that this is like it's like a little statue chamber. This is, I don't know if it's like supposed to be like this is not a pipe per se, but it is like. I mean, you went downstairs and saw a mosaic of a forest, so this is kind of like a weird like it's like a little like art room, a gallery of some kind. Perhaps there is a religious overtone as well. You're not really so keen on that stuff, but it definitely is like a constructed thing. And as you step out of it, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dom.
I was asking, do we perceive it as a carving of a tree, or do we perceive it as a tree? Are we doing a Provinia plot twist again?
No, not a plot twist of that nature. But there is a shift moment, because as you step out from these trees, when you look back, they only extend a little bit of the way out of the wall and then are bas relief. So again, you have stepped out of an artwork.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
The portals are literally artworks.
You
Got
went
it.
into a mosaic tile and you have stepped out of kind of like a carved,
a sculpture type thing.
Sculptured forest, yes.
Okay, but now we perceive everything as normal. We're not statues or anything. We're not doing any Plato's cave type shenanigans here.
No, you are.
Did you know unless you left the cave?
Everything looks the same. There is a little like brazier on one side that has a sort of flame that is just kind of casting white light from it.
Okay.
And you seem to be in a relatively similar kind of subterranean structure to the one that you were in below the mission. Also very Fey built, has a lot of that sort of like, sort of Fey architectural flourishes, but this one does seem to have more like natural elements built into it. Go ahead, Leo.
I have a question. As a spirit medium, I'm tapped into the other side, right? It's like I have a sense of. Do I have a sense of like how the spirits are in this like area as opposed to in the material realm?
Interesting. Make an insight roll.
Okay. Insight. That's a non-nat 20.
Non-nat 20. As you sort of like kind of just like make a sort of feeling, sort of getting a sense of what things are around you. You actually have a very, very. it feels more empty here, and what spirits are around feel less restless. What is your modifier for Arcana?
+3.
And you were I'll roll with that. You suspect that as a spirit medium, though you can channel spirits, even across the veil in different places, like you can channel spirits here in the Fairylands, no problem. There's less. They tend to be more in the material place. The ones who are in the Fairylands, this is a more positive place. They tend to have sort of moved further beyond the veil. In contrast, if you ever go to the Shadow World, it's going to be noisy.
They're right up
They're
against
just
it.
like it's a lot of kind of like 2000s horror, like screaming faces at you.
They're banging on the glass. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think Dom's gonna take a good look around here on the floor, so he's gonna climb up there and see where the hell we are.
Okay. There is you're just in this sort of chamber. There is
a door somewhere.
There is a kind of like an arched doorway. There's a thick mist beyond the doorway. But what's your passive, Dom?
+5.
+5. You can, if you sort of look, you can make out like a stone passage that leads through it. Various crystals embedded in the wall. Looks very just generally fey, but it is already sort of misty in that thing. It looks appropriately Fairylandsy down that hall.
Definitely doesn't look like San Termino, right?
No, I'll also say there's definitely a different smell here, even underground. There, you can kind of, and they're probably using us like it's all black and white, but it's a softer focus now. That kind of vibe.
I'm particularly sensitive to smells. Is there anything I would notice?
I don't think it's a specific. I mean, you're probably picking up a lot of things that are foreign to you. Although with your study, you would maybe be able to trace them. It's what is definitive to you. The others would suspect, and you would know for sure, is that you are not where you were. Like there's a whole different sort of like olfactory spectrum operating here. So yeah, I guess in the sense that you're like, okay, we're definitely on another plane. We're confident that you have passed over to. Yeah.
Approach the door.
You can.
There's a mist. Can we see through the mist?
Yeah, it's not super. It's not. It's like on the line between lightly obscured and heavily obscured, so you can kind of look through it. You see there's a passage leading down, some kind of vague glowing points throughout it. It's all very just sort of fey and normal looking throughout the way.
Are there any signs of people passing through recently, or that people come here often
Make a
at
survival
all?
check.
Survival. Hey, +3. I forgot this guy is good at tracking a little bit. 18.
There appear...
Well, D20s for skill checks in this game, right?
What's that?
It's a D&D-ish system, right?
Normal
Yeah,
D&D.
it's 5e.
Oh,
It's
yeah, when I
5e.
rolled the D20 earlier, I was like, the number
This
can't be that high. I
feels-
did
We've been
wrong.
playing so much D100 that this feels foreign to me.
D100, or just a million other games, or
Yeah.
So Dom, you suspect that this is not a heavily trafficked room, but there's definitely a few sort of prints here or there. You don't think people come through here all the time, but knowing that Tasha apparently came through here like 3 days ago, that you're not picking up her exact prints, but you're like that. You doubt people have been in here since then.
Right. Okay.
Can I try to track her? Like go out the door and.
So Dominic already made sort of a survival roll and kind of is pointing out prints. If you want to sort of track, you want to like go into the hallway and go beyond.
Yeah, I mean, go outside of this room because I think it's just a transitioning place.
Yeah, it's definitely a transition room. Yeah, you can if you sort of go to the hallway, Sha'Nehl. I think this is more like make a perception check for me.
Okay.
There's perception. I have +5, so I can help with that.
10. But I have my Brave New World, so I should be. That's 14.
Okay.
Oh no! Wait! Perception. I rolled a 10. 4 is 14 plus 8
Well,
plus 4 is 18.
are you? I think you have a +7 to your. Oh, are you using a paper sheet? I have
Oh,
your sheet.
hang on. There is the perception is +6.
Okay.
But I have the Brave New World. You can give yourself a bonus to any skill check. You make blah blah blah. Perception
half your yeah. So it's a +7.
equal to your intelligence modifier.
Are we all running on the same patch?
Are you? I'm looking at your. Are you? You're not using your sheet online, or you have a sheet that you wrote out?
I have a sheet that I printed out, but hang on. My
That's
online
awesome.
is it's 18 over here.
I think it's what I have here is your perception is a +7 on the sheet that says Explorer Sha'Nehl.
Okay, +7. But I also have the Brave New World feature,
Right.
which would give me another 4.
So Brave New World.
Wouldn't it?
That has been I believe your okay, so your intelligence is a +4 and your wisdom is a +1 and you're proficient in it. So the total is 7. You have 1 from wisdom, 2 from proficiency, and 4 from Brave New World. And that has been applied already on your skill sheet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I got 17 then.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Out of it.
So no, yeah, it's all running back. Those bonuses have been applied on that sheet already.
Okay.
So Sha'Nehl, yeah, with you kind of like looking through the mist, you doubt you can like track days later on stone like this. But you're fairly confident that she went this way, and you also see nothing ahead of you that would suggest, though it is misty and kind of mystical looking, you don't think there's any danger in this passage.
And is there? Oh, okay, it's a passage, so it's a clear path.
There's like a clear path. It's kind of there's a lot of mist throughout it, and kind of crystals glowing on the wall, but nothing that strikes you as something you wouldn't find. Nothing that it seems wrong for the Fairylands.
Okay.
Pockets in my trench coat. I'm just walking along.
Right, so you walk through the mist. Very Noir move. You walk through.
I'm just leading the pack because I'm not scared of anything. I probably should be, but I'm not.
It's fine. I will say that it's you don't. There's no like negative thing, but like as you pass those crystals, there is like a tinkling wind chime sort of sound as you sort of pass. As you sort of pass within them.
Without any wind chimes, or is just the crystals themselves?
It seems like it's coming
sound?
from the crystals. It's kind of just
okay.
ding, 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 as you pass.
No other passageways. We go all the way to the end of this hallway.
If in fact, as you walk through and like you can see a little further in the thing, there seems to be some stairs leading up.
Ascend.
We're just following along.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, well, I'm fascinated by every inch of this place, but I should be keeping pace with the rest of you. Yes, of course.
I'm glad you're able to read context clues today, Leo.
Well, sometimes I'm better than other times. It helps. I have 2 other voices in my head telling me what to do
Yes, that
all
helps
the
a lot.
time. It's
It helps
quite
a lot.
terrifying, in fact, if you think about it for too long.
So Dom, as you ignore that and lead the group up these sort of steps, you find that there is a door at the end of it. The door does appear to be locked. That you reach, it is a door of kind of like looks sort of like elvish or whatever, but maybe a little more kind of like ornate and fey-like. The door is inlaid with various crystals. It's pretty dim up here, but you're an orc, so you can see okay.
Right. Ornate door. You said it's closed, locked, or something?
It is locked.
Is she locked on this or something? Probably makes sense if she's being chased to lock it.
Does it have any arcane symbols or anything that would be meaningful to Scrakk?
You have a high passive perception, right?
No, I have a high investigation, but not perception.
We'll say
plus
that's
5
and you can
passive.
see can you see in the dark? Do you have dark vision?
That's a good
I thought
question.
Ras
Sure.
did.
I think so.
Ratphobia.
I would believe you would.
Not right.
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool.
I
So
do have
yeah,
dark
then if you sort of kind of, and you can also, scoot around people. You don't see any arcane sigils or anything. It seems to be more just like a more utility door.
I'll pull out my thieves' tools and try and pick the lock.
Make a thieves' tools roll.
Well, actually, you said the door is locked, right? We checked the handle.
It seems to be.
Is it a door that has a handle? Is it like wooden? Is it?
There is a handle. It's probably of sort of like a little, kind of like fancy metal with some swoopy kind of things on it. It appears it's not so much locked, but this is not picking a lock. This is like manipulating the clasp and opening it.
Oh, okay.
You think there's like
some type of obstruction.
With your passive investigation, you suspect that there's a latch on the other side that you're going to need to reach through and open. So
I'll do that.
Make a roll.
Like the basement of this other side? I guess it makes sense.
We'll start out well with a natural 1 plus 7, so 8.
An 8. You are unable to sort of you jiggle it. You a natural 1. You don't. I'm not gonna say you break your tools, but you certainly drop them a couple of times and you're kind of just making a fair bit of a racket. And honestly, anyone with a passive perception of 13 or higher at this point.
That's me.
Here's some extremely kind of like from a distance you hear kind of a like boom, 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 boom. And then after a few moments it gets louder, and at 12 or higher you're hearing boom, 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 boom.
You should have just
boom,
knocked.
some very heavy steps outside.
I'm going to switch to Leona because she's ready to throw the fuck down
you.
anytime. Alright. What the fuck is that?
Scrakk picks up his thieves' tools and stashes them back away.
You then hear the kind of like little like metal scraping or whatever of a lock. Then the door handle turns and the door is pulled open, and you see standing in your path, probably kind of like hunched, the head kind of like protrudes down from the body. You see this like 8.5 foot tall fungus thing. You actually have seen one of these before as the barman. There was one outside the Sweet Feather Parlor wearing a feathered tuxedo.
Was the Myconid.
But there is this giant like mushroom, just like it's kind of like swamp thing, but only fungus, and it is standing within what seems to be a sort of a much brighter room of kind of glass and crystal. That the glass all seems a little grimy. And it's just like staring at all of you.
Hello?
Can I interest you in some... whatever. Let us through. We're here to visit someone.
Good day, sir. We came looking for Tasha.
I briefly considered trying to act like Luminus to try to trick him. I was like, nah, just let us through, man.
I have to say, I really like the confidence of, let us through. We're here to meet someone. That's the being sort of kind of just nods for a few moments. And kind of opens its mouth, and a bunch of spores go floating out of its mouth.
Was that a good thing or a bad thing?
It
Can't
looks
really
back at
tell.
you.
Oh no. Can I tell it's looking at me? Does it have eyes?
It does have
Back
eyes.
away.
They're kind of.
I honestly, I kind of more upset that it has eyes.
Does the when we met the previous Myconid mushroom person, he was able to speak properly, right?
That one was, yes.
Okay. Is this the telepathic spores thing that the Myconid people race have that you tried doing
Make
once?
a nature roll, I think.
That won't be good for me. That's just.
I don't know that Scrakk knows that.
You can
he
make a
didn't
nature
meet the
roll as
mech.
well.
Okay, sure. I
I
didn't
rolled
meet
a
the
6.
Myconid previously, but
I remember we tried doing that.
Well,
in my...
that one went well. That's 23.
Yeah.
This does not appear to be kind of that specific type of fungal creature. This is a different thing. This is something called a trudge. and they're a little different. They're you definitely know that more trudges have been showing up recently because fungus have not been affected as much as other things. So these different kinds of sentient things, but they tend to be, they're pretty strong, pretty sort of sturdy, kind of hard to take out. They can be a little toxic, but they work good as kind of just like enforcers or muscle or things. But it's just kind of like standing here, and after a few minutes, or after a few moments, rather, you're probably standing there for minutes. It kind of like sniffs a couple of times, and then just kind of stays where it is, but it's just looking at you and kind of like it's you could certainly walk past it if you wanted to. It's not in like
it's not barring the way.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna walk past it.
You're gonna have to like walk pretty. You're gonna have to squeeze past it, but it's not stopping you.
I'm a mobster, so I don't care. Just as long as it doesn't try hurting me, then I'll just walk past.
Okay.
Would that say something, Duchess?
Well, do like tunes and mannequins and rat folk, do they exist in these other, like, planes, I guess? Or
let's see. Tunes are definitely a special kind of magic thing, so they're probably known in some of these other places. They'd be very uncommon. Mannequins are a relatively recent creation, so those are not going to be known. Rat folk, totally expected.
Okay, so the ones that look weird here are just going to be me and mannequins then, right? Like
you and mannequins will attract more attention for sure.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, actually, that's interesting though, Duchess.
That's nothing new for me.
If you would like to, I'll say this is not a compulsory thing. You maybe we'll say you catch like a glimpse of yourself. You do find that your paint, like you don't look different, but your style is slightly different here. Like your animation style is a little more kind of a little more like lighthearted, if that makes sense. Like
I'm just imagining anime Dutch.
Maybe more watercolory. Maybe
there probably is. You probably
Miyazaki.
You probably have a little more like texture in your painting. It's a little more kind of.
All right. I'm into
More
it.
Disney.
Yeah.
Howl's
Disney
moving
Channel.
alcoholic.
No, she was Disney style.
She was Disney style vibe. Yeah, this is a little more.
She was
like
Looney
lyrical.
Tunes style before.
Yeah, this is a little more lyrical, a little more. I would say.
Miyazaki.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Miyazaki.
He's not really.
It's not even. It's not like it's not her look. It's not. It's like the paint. It's the texture.
Right.
Yeah. All right, I'm into that. Yeah.
Okay, so as you sort of walk out, certainly this trudge just kind of like look at you for a second as you move.
Oh.
Scrakk will
I'm already past him.
walk past if
Yeah,
Dominic made it through.
He doesn't stop any of you as you walk past. He kind of he mutters a bit as you go.
And it's
Is he
unintelligible.
communicating with other mushrooms? Do I think? Because mushrooms have this communication thing.
They do seem to have a sort of thing like that. Yes, I would say you can make a nature roll. I think you're pretty good at those.
As an explorer now,
Yeah.
probably.
Or you
I
could
rolled another
make...
10.
Perfectly
I
balanced.
think that would be a
14.
14. You definitely think he's doing some kind of other kind of communication. Yes. Scrakk, go ahead and give me an Arcana roll. I'll let you try to identify something. DC on this will be very high. Obviously, you can roll obscenely high, but just know this is a kind of you recognizing something in the.
I will.
Yeah.
I will tell you that I rolled another one.
Okay. So you think this is it. You still think it's a Myconid.
Yeah.
You're like, never
He's
mind.
too intimidated.
It's a Myconid.
Never mind. It's a mic. That's
but
what
Too intimidated by this big guy.
The trudge is kind of just kind of watches you all. The room you're in, it is not dissimilar from like a greenhouse. There's it's all crystal glass walls. They're all very grimed over, but something about it feels vaguely familiar to the mission you were in. So you suspect this is some kind of fort,
Mirror?
temple, mirror version of it, yeah.
Are we gonna find the mirror druids?
The Nega Druids. That's just Shadow Realm.
Looks like the place from before.
All right.
He starts sniffing, and then he walks rather kind of like just turns away from all of you and walks over to sort of like one of the doors that is open, and one of the doors in the side of the structure, and kind of walks out. You hear a couple of and those of you with probably passive 15 or higher actually hear a voice sort of talking back.
I hear it.
Sort of a quieter voice. Sha'Nehl and Dominic you hear, and Luminus does too, kind of just saying, "Okay, that's very strange. Okay."
In our tongue, not in the Trudge tongue.
It was in common.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
All right.
Okay.
Scrakk calls out, "Hello,
It was
is
probably
anyone
Elvish
here?
then.
The Trudge just kind of
come in peace."
the Trudge just turns back and looks at you, and gestures to itself.
It's not a voice we recognize, right? It's a new person.
It is a new
voice.
person out there. It's not someone you've heard before. But the Trudge kind of points to itself a couple of times, specifically in response to you saying, "Is anyone here?"
I see.
Kind of
I
like
guess
there's
you
a
do
there's
Everyone
almost like
else.
I guess you do understand common, huh?
Well, it's Elvish, the common, isn't it?
it's
Elvish is the common tongue.
it's
Okay.
it is Elvish, but yes, it yes.
The
Correct.
lingua elva.
Lingua yeah, exactly.
No, not Sylvan. Lingua elva. Okay, anyway, whatever. So I'll go over to the Trudge and say, I won't ask what your name is, so I probably can't pronounce it, but I'm not trying to make any fun. I just probably can't.
Noof.
Huh? Moof?
Noof.
Noof?
Noof. And
Nuff.
you hear a voice kind of saying from behind, his name is Nuff, and a gremlin wearing overalls, and kind of like a linen shirt of some kind walks up behind him. She has like a rag in her hands. His name is Nuff. Apparently he let you out of the downstairs. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, and we're mighty thankful for that.
So, how would I react to an actual? We've seen gremlins. We've seen gremlins.
Yeah, they're all
came
over the
prepared.
city.
This
Fix my
gremlin
bar.
looks a little different. That you've certainly never seen a gremlin wearing overalls, or you have maybe in like a. She's got like mud on like her knees, and this is a very kind of a. You've seen gremlins in a very kind of like industrial setting, but not in this sort of kind of agricultural vibe. That is what she.
Didn't
This
expect
one
to
looks like she has a garden.
Didn't expect to see a gremlin here. What's your name?
I'm Dymer.
Zymer?
Dymer is her name.
Dymer.
And the Trudge's name is Nuff, Nuff.
Okay. I guess I should say my name. I'm Dominic. This one is Duchess Contessa.
Oh.
This one is Luminus. And these punks are. What are your names again? Scrakk,
My name is Sha'Nehl.
Sha'Nehl, and Leo.
Oh, that's actually Leona.
Whoa.
I mean, you can just refer to me as Leo. It's
No, we
less
cannot.
confusing.
There's,
Well, Leo is short for all three of our names.
Yeah, they're
so-
always like
understand
this.
It is
Did
not.
Do you know how to get to the city?
To Fini?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you can either walk or if you want to, you could take the train.
There's a train?
Yeah.
Should we visit
Sorry, we're new
that
here. If you
far?
couldn't tell.
I can tell.
Yeah.
There's
I feel like
the
that's
there's
pretty
there's
evident.
the Firefly Express leaves. It was modeled after what they have in the material plane. They were intrigued by trains, so they've built some sort of big bugs on tracks. Very strange.
All right, yeah. Well, that tracks with being very strange.
It's very Hollow Knight-ish or
Yeah.
very Morrowind-ish.
Is there a
I don't know
farm
what any of that
nearby?
means. Farm,
It's all right. He just says things.
I don't know either. This is just a voice that comes into my head from beyond the cosmos.
no, there aren't really farms here in
There's medication for that.
the fairylands. There's gardens. There's many gardens.
Oh, is there a ttrpg garden nearby?
A what?
A
A
what?
triple G?
What?
Time to find out if there is a mirror version
She
of the
kind of
ttrpg
her eyes narrow
Probably
slightly
isn't.
when you say that, and she says, I wouldn't. No, there's nothing called Triple G here. If you want to go to the Firefly Express, I can point you in the right direction. Wouldn't be
Is
too
she
long a
telling the
walk.
truth?
You can make an
No,
insight
they
roll.
wish I
Does she look guarded?
She looks guarded, no roll required.
Right,
Chanel
but
just
like that
Chanel
they
just
entered
asked the
store.
wrong question. Chanel just said something that's put her
Oh.
on a.
Okay.
So now she's just saying, go down the main road. You can get to the Firefly Express, but
It's a 17 on the inside. If I can glean anything from her.
You definitely think she knows what Sha'Nehl is talking about, but she's not lying that there's nothing called the Triple G garden here, because there's not. But
All right, fair enough.
she understands what Sha'Nehl's asking about. The fact that Sha'Nehl's asking about it is making her like not thrilled. And she kind of actually, she'll say, is this just an open door there? They're just kind of letting anyone go through? Is this a known thing? Are there going to be a lot of people coming
We
through
are
here?
on a mission
Well, I assume you
for
would
the
be,
light.
but are there going to be a lot of people coming through here?
No, I think
I do
ours
not
is a bit
think
of a special
so.
case.
Okay.
You're looking
We
for
are following
Tasha?
Tasha, a bugbear.
I don't know how she would.
Tasha.
Came through. Tasha.
Mhm.
Right, she's a friend of ours and kind of looking for her, make sure she's okay.
Mhm.
Sorry, who are you?
My name is Dimer.
He's Dimer.
No,
She
Dimer,
is Dimer.
I got the name Dimer, but what's with the forest and the...
It's art.
I.
Don't you recognize art?
It is. You're in an old sort of. This used to be an arch-faced court. But that was a while back. And now I'm just. There's some things I'm setting up here, but
Don't act like such a tourist, Scrakk.
if you want to go to the Firefly Express, I don't know when it runs, but won't take you more than half an hour to get there. Half an hour, 45 minutes. It's just, and that does track with how long a walk it would be. Maybe it's more like an hour. That's basically what she says. It tracks with how long a walk it would be from the mission to the station at Million Oaks where you guys got off.
Question as a refresher: was the Feywild always like a direct? Is it like naturally a direct mirror of the cities, or are the cities built to mirror purposefully?
Excellent question. Typically, it's a natural mirror. Typically, if there's a thing in one place, it might be reflected in another. From your understanding, the city of Finis or Fini was built as a reflection of San Termino, and from what she just said, it sounds like the Firefly Express was explicitly built as a reflection of the trains.
Okay, so
Whether or not
they're
this
building
place-
it to, like the layout is also like purposefully, like intentionally built. It's not manifested by the.
Those
Feywild.
are not the yes. As far as I'll say, yes, the Firefly Express and the city of Fini are not. They're not are not spontaneously manifested. Those were designed intentionally. This place
question.
you're not
In-
sure. Yes.
In canon, is the material plane considered the plane, the real plane, and these are offshoots of that main plane? Or do they each consider themselves the main plane?
I think they all consider themselves the main plane.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, good to know.
You know,
All right.
material plane is
Anyway.
like, well, we're the one in the middle, so we're the real one.
We're the real plane here. It's like, no,
the
we're the
Fairylands
real.
are like, no, we're the nicest one, so we're the weird one, and then it gets bad, then worse. And in the Shadowlands, we're like, no, we're the only one who's honest, and then they're half deluding themselves and totally deluding themselves.
So we're standing in what used to be an archface court. is there any indication of what it's used for now? Is it just like a...
Well, art, apparently.
That was just sort of like some stuff downstairs, and you suspect that was left over from the Archfey days. Up here, it seems totally empty, and like the windows are very grimed over. It's also kind of hot in here, like a greenhouse.
So it hasn't been like converted into like...
No, it's just
like a fucking visitor center or something.
No. It's not a visitor center at all.
It's like an embassy.
It's empty. It reminds you almost of like an empty greenhouse.
All right. Anyway, all right. Thanks a lot, Dimer and Nuff. We'll be on our way. Let's go.
Dimer, do you I don't know why I have a southern accent all of a sudden. Do you know if there's any institutes of learning or science in the city?
Science? No. Learning.
How
sure.
about magic? Institute of Magic? Arcane knowledge, perhaps? I cannot get back to my accent. I lost it.
She's just kind of staring at all of you in a weird way.
You seem mighty perplexed by our very existence.
Well,
Is there
I
anything
am.
we can do to help you with that?
Some people just walked out of the basement.
It's
They're
a
not
long
like a
story.
common
I don't want to
occurrence
get into
around
it
here?
unless you want to talk. Unless you want us to talk about it.
I don't think we have time to have like a little therapy session. with
we just
Diamond
have-
right here.
She just has to watch the past 1 hour of this stream, and she gets the picture of what's going on.
she'll just.
I don't really get what you're saying
Hold
there.
on, let me scrub.
What is a
Duchess
stream?
can't pull down.
Duchess, if you
Explain things like a little slideshow presentation.
give me a performance
with a
roll.
pointer.
Yeah.
Well, that's upsetting on various levels.
It has like pictures of everybody and shit.
Yeah.
And us talking about it, and now we're doing MST theater here.
Threads everywhere.
Future Science
Performance?
Theater. Oh man, I remember this from 5
Yeah,
minutes ago.
performance.
It's great, wasn't it?
That is a what is that? +4. That is a 19.
She kind of follows that and says, "All right.
It's a sick
Okay.
game.
Well,
So we're trying to bring the color back. Is there anybody who would be able to help us with that?
I mean, no one can help you do that because it's impossible. But
Right, yeah, look, we've told you that multiple times.
if you're looking for Tashia, she did come through here.
Well, that's great.
And she did
That's
go.
fine.
She went to, I think the place you're thinking of, but that's not what's here. She kind of says to Sha'Nehl.
Oh, of course. I am sure it is a different place here. But it is a
Okay.
garden, correct?
It's a grove here.
It's a grove.
Mhm.
I think
very
we should
insistent on their
visit her in
terminology.
the grove. We should talk to her.
Sure, it's right here.
You can go to the grove, but it's not as not quite as welcoming an area. But I can tell you how to get there if you. She kind of pauses. Says, I'm sure you already know. It's basically in the same place.
Right. Anyway, what's your favorite type of
It's
drink?
easier.
What's my
Really?
favorite type of drink?
It's free. She was listening to this whole spiel.
I like.
I'm a bartender. It's what I do.
I don't
That's
mind a
all
sort of,
you do?
Lemonade.
Yes.
I don't mind a nice
I'm a fine, upstanding bartender.
cup of. I'll tell you what.
All
You're
right.
a bartender, Dom. Do you have like bartender tools? Is that one of your tool sets or anything?
No, just the bar and a bottle.
Okay. Based on what she's saying, she is indicating that she tends to like kind of like fruit-like things. So you suspect a smoky sidecar, or
I'm
a
giving her a magic drink. She
uh,
doesn't get the high class stuff.
Well, the
it's
only-
free.
Well, you cannot make one kind of regular drink.
the
right?
only regular drink you can make is an old-fashioned.
Ah, okay, fine. So I asked all of that, and no, I'm not giving you that. All right, fine.
Based on what she said, you suspect that she would enjoy a smoky sidecar, or a
Orange
or a
liquor.
daiquiri de gremlin. those you think she would
How
enjoy
often
either of those.
can I make a drink with this?
You can
till the
make
next
each
dawn?
one once per day.
What time of day is it?
Yeah,
Morning.
Still, it's like mid-morning, late morning, 11 a.m., something like that.
Does the sun rise and set on opposite sides here?
Are we in Australia?
Honestly, don't know. That's interesting.
Does the toilet flush the other way?
Yeah, it flushes up here.
Yeah.
Oh god. All right, you know what?
But
It's only one
traditionally,
day. One of I ever
when-
need this. Fine, I'll make a smoky sidecar for her and give her a drink that is all this drinky stuff and smoky stuff. Enjoy.
Oh. That's...
Thanks for listening to our spiel.
Since she has a gremlin, should I
Telling you,
make
it's been
the
a rough day
gremlins?
for us.
I don't think she can eat after midnight.
intermittent fasting or something? What's going on?
That's a different kind of
It's
gremlin.
another kind of gremlin. Yeah, it's a gremlin thing. She appreciates the beverage. I think she'll
Telling you.
I mean,
I'm telling you here, we're weird. We're in a weird group, but we're just
if
trying
you,
to survive
if you-
here.
If you are going to the Grove, you should just be a little cautious and maybe try to find somebody at one of the borders of it. There'll be certain kind of awakened shrubs and things like that patrolling.
Wow.
If you can say that you're I guess you could even say that you've come to visit Tashia, and maybe they'll.
Does she have a reputation around here or something?
I believe she's still a guest there, so. The Grove belongs to a hag.
Well, that's not very nice.
Oh,
It's a
Oh, never mind. Leopold is telling me that's like an actual thing. My mistake.
why would Tasha go there?
I don't know.
Protection.
She must
People who
want
are
something
powerless
from that
seek
hag.
power.
That's a hag I don't. I've set up shop here, and so far she's not. She's okay with what I'm doing. But,
What are you doing? Do you make things?
I'm a druid. She turns around and goes out the door she came in, and you guys step out. You see a pretty preposterous and meticulously crafted garden of all sorts of bizarre sort of fairyland plants, all extremely ornamental, perfectly manicured, these like impressive kind of geometric patterns and rows.
Like bonsai? Something like a
Yes,
bonsai?
and sort of bonsai, and it seems that she's specifically growing all sorts of things that are sort of doing better. There actually is a lot of like cultivated like mushrooms. There's even kind of like big, huge, like floppy, kind of interesting toadstools arranged in such ways. Kind of Dr. Seuss looking plants. Just it's a very magical kind of vibe out here.
I
It
switched
is
to
very
Leon.
interesting.
Can I do like an Arcana or Nature check to see what this might,
You can do a nature
if it has any
check.
specific purpose?
Yeah.
This is all very wonderfully assorted and organized. You have quite the eye.
Thank
Done.
you. It's sort of what I do.
16.
This is things like this are probably more possible in a place like this, but with a 16, you suspect that this is, it's like you're not rolling Arcana because you know it's magical, but you suspect that this is the work of a very skilled, of a very skilled druid. And in fact, she will identify, but Scrakk, you probably already know, she is a circle of horticulture druid. What's that? Why, it's a subclass that you'll soon get in your copy of Noir Confidential. The circle of horticulture druids.
Hashtag sponsored.
They are, rather than being, they believe in sort of controlling nature. They love to make beautiful gardens or parks or things within urban settings. They don't feel the need. They're not as like opposed to urban creep. And they're all about kind of making these very impressive things. And Scrakk, at this point, go ahead and give me an Arcana. And I guess, Leo, you can do one too if you'd like.
Sure, yeah.
I get to roll that with the professor dice, right?
That one you do get a professor die on top of, yes.
Oh dear. Not amazing. Let us see.
22.
Arcana, you said?
Arcana, yes.
They say 13.
13. You've maybe heard of this kind of druid, but you're not super familiar with it. Scrakk, I think that you are familiar enough to know that Nuff is her plant companion.
Okay.
She's capable of, creating,
I see.
plant companions. She's capable of doing stuff that affects plants and things like this. Yeah.
Do I think this garden is primarily like a visual spectacle, or it is like serving a specific food or magical purpose?
Your understanding of horticulture, your understanding of horticulture druids is it is ornamental. It is sort of for the beauty. You don't think this is like a ley line of magical stuff. It's more she's just cultivating a
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
I will comment on its presentation. Like it's very.
This is all just by you, right? How long did it take you to make this garden?
Here about a week.
Do you just kind of like go to different places and like turn them into garden? Because that's amazing. I love that for you. And in
Love
general.
that journey for you.
Yes,
Yeah. I mean, yes.
that's wonderful. I'm an artisan myself.
She just pauses and says, "Come here."
Things like that.
Just come here.
Sure, yes.
And she walks past sort of the range of the garden, and she goes to an area beyond where it's more kind of like wildly growing grass. She leads you guys about 60 feet, sort of from the edge of her perfectly manicured garden. About 60 feet from there. Kind of, she looks back. She gives one of those a couple times. And then she says, "All right. She closes her eyes, begins some kind of magical focus, and suddenly everything around you in a 60-foot radius of her kind of forms into not as perfectly pristine as those, but like mushrooms grow incredibly fast and tall, strange plants, the grass sort of like the grass that is tall and uneven and wild kind of almost like all evens out, and she leaves little, like naturally occurring paths through it. Basically, she tames this area and summons in more stuff. In addition to this, this unfortunately won't give any of you a benefit, but you'll feel it. You all feel a wave of like healthfulness rush over you. And it's almost the feeling you get after a short rest. You feel like if any of you were damaged, you all could have spent hit dice to heal in that moment. As she kind of, it takes a few times to kind of get it, perfect. But
Powerful. But you seem nervous about this hag.
I mean, she's
the muscle in the area, yes?
she's a bit,
That seems like a very rude thing. Oh, never mind. I just got that.
All right. I guess we better.
She's not. She's just particular. I'm just a druid.
Yeah.
I'm from material plane like you. I can do more here, so it's more interesting.
Right.
She's not. Her name is Angry Daisy Cryptwillow.
Below?
Is angry part of her name, or is it?
Oh, most
I
hags
believe so.
have
An adjective?
an adjective name. Yes, they have a
Angry
descriptive.
Daisy Cryptwillow. That certainly sounds like a pleasant lassie. All right. Wait, I'm not Scottish in this world.
Yeah. But if you go to the Cryptwillow hag, just your friends seem to know her and not be worried. Since you don't know her, just understand she's, like mini mercurial fae around here. I think she figured before everything went so crazy that she might one day become an archfey herself. So she's.
Oh well, can't be any worse than being hunted by the government, right?
Don't say that. That is just asking for problems.
I know, because it's 9:30.
There's definitely a sense when you say that. There's both like a ugh, but also a like, all right, well this explains why they came. She's like, here's who's gonna be coming through here is criminals, is fugitives.
Or people hunting criminals.
We were wrongfully accused. We are looking for the one-armed man.
If anybody asks you about a murder, we did not do it.
To be fair,
This one
I did.
that we're
try,
wanted for, we didn't do.
Someone just beat me to it.
Okay, well, you do not have to offer that.
And I did not do this murder.
When Duchess speaks, I don't want the voice and her mouth to sync up anymore.
You want Duchess's mouth to not be syncing with her.
Yeah, because if I'm looking more Miyazaki like here, I want it
Like
to look
bad
like
dubbing?
Not bad dubbing, just like dubbing. Like
Anime.
Like your mouth just moves.
yeah, and then the voice can
Yeah, very anime.
She kind of blinks as that happens a bit.
Actually, I've never seen this form of Duchess before. That takes a while to get used to. It's like,
Well, I've never seen it either. So.
Goy.
She kind of takes all that in and then just goes back to her sidecar.
yeah, don't worry about it. Tunes are weird. Tunes are tunes. They're gonna tune it up. All right, let's go.
Tunes are a very strange existence.
I always liked.
I say as I switch my face
I
back.
agree.
No opinions from the peanut gallery. Did not.
Let's just get going. We don't want to wait around for government agents to show up.
She has a thing. Enough kind of makes it like some more spores. I'll just reveal to you because it's I tell you more things from the book. Her plant companion can communicate with her in Druidic. So basically, I'm just letting it do that through the spores. It can understand Common and can only speak with its sort of master, but not the
Figured something like that.
So as you guys are going to head to the Grove, to the Crypt Willow Grove.
Between here,
Why not?
here and there wouldn't be like. Well, one, there wouldn't be a currency exchange, right? And also there wouldn't be like a clothing store or something.
Do we need to get some Fey bucks?
No, between you don't think you would find anything like that until you were in the city.
Okay, fair enough.
Just to make sure, there's no Fey garage with a Fey primo here, right?
That would be nice.
God,
It would be like a horse
All right.
drunk carriage or something.
Hold on a second, Ka. I'm gonna do something. This is not going to be a full binding thing, Ka. I actually need you to do 2 things, okay?
Okay.
First of all, roll 3d6.
Why D6 in particular? Come on. We're not doing Horror Nights right now.
Not. This is from the D100 system, though. Okay. Roll 3d6.
1, 1, 4. 1, 1, and 4, so 6.
1, 1, and 4, so 6. Okay.
Is low roll good or low roll bad?
Well, this low roll is bad. So it's that number times 5 is your luck score. So your luck score is 30. So roll a D100.
Okay.
And I shouldn't even be. I was gonna have this be extreme, which is a 5th. So basically, roll a D100. If you roll a 6 or lower, there might be something useful for you.
Okay, where is my other form?
This is just
All right.
just ad hoc
6 or lower.
luck score. I'm into this.
58. Nah.
58. Unfortunately, you look back kind of like behind the area, and there's almost a place where maybe carriages were stored, but it's empty.
All right. This doesn't duplicate it that much. All right, we're walking. We're hoofing it.
So, you set out to walk away from the garden, away from Dimer, the Circle of Horticulture Druid, through a fairy forest with like that weird mist hanging, little pixies dancing through the trees here or there. The trees, which are, it should be noted, still look somewhat sickly, but look healthier here than they did in your world. And as you enter the misty... Go ahead, Duchess.
I was just gonna ask this: the farther we get from her, do the trees look less healthy?
The trees near her did look shockingly fine, but yeah, no, it's not a there's a decline, but it's not, doesn't continue. It's kind of like the trees, but it's kind of like that sort of thing. As you head away on a mission to reach the approximate location Sha'Nehl and Duchess kind of learned that the ttrpg ranch was. The ttrpg ranch is where that creep who gave you guys a ride to the mission worked. If you remember all that business, and you made him sign a contract, Duchess. Yeah.
Oh.
So in
yes,
any
I do
case,
remember that.
as you guys head in the direction of that, to a place called the Grove, where you will meet Angry Daisy Cryptwillow, that is where we will end tonight's session. At 9:40, so we played for an hour. So we did an hour recap and an hour of shenanigans. And everybody got to roll at least one die, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Get back into characters.
All right,
Yep.
so you have something of a mission. All right, so perfect. Well, guys, thank you so much. It is so fun to be back. I really enjoy this game. I'm excited to kind of see the next chapter of this Noir nonsense unfold. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed our long slow easing back into the hot tub of long lost Noir Gray in the Dark. We will see you on Friday for Blood from a Stone, on Sunday for A More Wretched Hive, one of our Star Wars games, on Monday for Civilized Age, our other Star Wars game, and then a week again from now for this once again. Go to our Discord, do all our follow us there. I'll post recaps. Today's recap will be short. Great. Thank you all so much. I remember what I say. Oh my god, you guys, I almost forgot what I say. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, good night and good noir.